Maybe somebody can explain this to me because I'm not understanding it very much. Honestly,
It's called denial. That's what it is. Folks deny things like this because if they actually entertain for a minute or even accept that what we've been saying, what you've been saying is actually real or is even a possibility, the ramifications of what that would mean for them personally, their family, people love, right, would make it exceedingly difficult for them to even continue to function in their daily lives with some sort of normalcy. It's denial, because denial is more palatable for people's mental state. Because if people are frightened and desperate and truly terrified, which they should be. That's the thing. They should be terrified, frightened, desperate, like not be able to sleep with the things that this administration and the Republicans are doing and allowing to happen. People should be infuriating to the point where they're willing to hit the streets and, frankly, attempt to unalive those doing it. That is how evil what they're doing is. I wouldn't blame people if they felt that way. But you see, people do not want to feel that way. People psychologically, mentally cannot handle that. Most people cannot handle feeling that way. And the problem is, and it's something I think the administration, the Republican Party relies on, the human mind cannot persist in that level of fright or flight, because basically what they're doing would trigger that level of fright, an extreme level of fight or flight in the human mind. The human mind cannot cannot persist in that state for much longer, for very long. We can only handle that momentarily, but we cannot handle that for freaking years of this. Flooding the system, overwhelming the system, overwhelm us to the point where we just, to even cope, to even stay sane, we frankly acquiesce. So in a sense, their denial, that denial I spoke about, is that acquiescence. It's kind of like a pre-acquiescence. The unfortunate thing though is, by the time that it becomes real for them, by the time it really starts to hit them, it will be too late for them to do, for any of us to do anything about it. The administration will have won. And frankly, that is what they count on. They know human nature. They know how we function. I've used this metaphor before. You know, like you hear a whining sound? When it first starts, you hear it, you're annoyed by it, you hear it. But if you aren't able to shut it off, if there's nothing you can do to shut it off, eventually your mind locks it out. Doesn't mean the sound isn't still playing. Doesn't mean the sound is not still going on. It's just that your mind, in order for you to function, locks it out. It's the same way with societal, socio-political, socio-cultural upheaval and stressors. Mentally, human beings can't function with that heightened sense of dread and threat and fear. We cannot function like that. And if we actually accept what they're doing or what they promise to do, it will put us in that heightened state, which is physically, mentally unsustainable for most humans. The unfortunate thing is, to be cruel, to be evil, to destroy things is exceedingly very easy for people who are sociopathic, who have contempt for people, for regular folks who just hate people. If they're doing it to people that they hate, it's very easy for them to do that. It's easier to hate and destroy and inflict all sorts of violence on people that you hate than it is to be empathetic, actually give a shit about people. Giving a shit about people, being empathetic is extraordinarily more difficult. But, as I said, human beings in this society go with the easy. Human beings in society go with comfort, and denial is more comfortable. It allows people to function than actually accepting, and worse, actually doing something to counter it, doing something to mitigate the thing that is causing you this heightened sense of fear and fury and frustration and rage. So, my man, that's my explanation of why. And we're fucked. I ain't gonna lie. We're truly fucked. Sorry, this is just not one of those posts, but
Maybe somebody can explain this to me because I'm not understanding it very much. Honestly, it's just kind of baffling to me at this point. I've probably spoken to maybe a little over 10 people now about this conversation, and I have gotten very similar responses, and I just don't get it. Some of these people voted for Trump, some didn't. But what's frustrating is when you explain to them that they're actually trying to cut all these social programs and stuff, their immediate response is, that's not going to happen. If my wife attempted to, get rid of me, and she failed, I would probably look at her a different light than if she was successful, because obviously I wouldn't be here. But definitely our relationship would be a little bit tainted. I don't understand how people are not upset at the attempt to remove all these programs. And again, with these individuals that I spoke with, they're not on the same wavelength at all. Like, there are some Republicans, independents, or some Democrats, but the response is the exact same. And it's not going to happen. How are you not pissed off that he's trying? Like, you're going to be homeless. You're not going to be able to go to the doctor. You're not going to be able to afford the food that you need to live. The fact that they're attempting should be enough to piss you off. But it's not. And I don't get it. I don't even closely understand how it could not affect your vision on him, or even Republicans for that matter.